Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I am JB Bryan, the President and Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, the home of AfroEconomics. This is a great day. I really love the topic we're going to talk about today, giving you so much empowerment that will change your life. AfroEconomics is a strategic financial management program I developed to financially empower the Black community in America and abroad. It is time for us to take control over our financial life. This is exciting stuff. This is the book. So go on to AfroEconomics.com and get the information. The book is full of the 10 principles of Afroeconomics, including entrepreneurship, a key principle of Afroeconomics. So if you're thinking about having your own business, then definitely, or if you have yours like myself, started a business over 20 years ago. So I got a lot of information to share with you. And this is the workbook from the classes, one class actually coming up this weekend in Virginia, Washington, D.C. office. I'm bringing it to you also. We're going to have the first AfroEconomics Financial Independence Day. So get ready to hang out with me. It's going to be absolutely free in our nation's capital. We are going to change some lives. So today, I have some key things that I want to make sure that we accomplish during our time together, because we don't have a lot of time, but we can do a lot in a little bit of time. We're going to do it. Conquering the financial enemies within. I like this African proverb that says, if we do not have an enemy within us, then the enemy outside of us can do us no harm. So we have to first get rid of what we're doing to ourselves. And after that, nothing outside of us is going to matter. They can have every offer, every sale, everything in the world. But when you know who you are and you know your financial goals, no matter what's outside of you, it will not disturb your goal, your commitment to your financial independence. So we're going to talk today about one, what to do, what not to do, and how we're going to make sure that we stay on track. I'm excited about our discussion. So let's talk. Make sure you make comments also, and please subscribe to the channel. I love these Wednesdays that we spend together, and you make me feel special when you subscribe. So my daughter has a channel. She has more subscribers than me. That's not good. And she goes, and she rubs it in. So here we go. Let's talk about things that serve as sabotages or pull us away. Think the enemy that is within us, sometimes within our wallet. Let's talk about the first one. I think is lifestyle. Your lifestyle can sabotage your financial life in its most simple form. Like, let's think about even our food choices, our decision to not get enough sleep, our decisions, if you choose not to exercise, if you do things that create the expense of health. It is only now, since these health insurance changes, the Affordable Care Act has actually created a lot of expenses for people who need health coverage. There's a lot of things that were covered before. For those of you who make good money, especially my clients that are that have retired, there's less and less things that are covered, and they're actually taking withdrawals from their retirement accounts to cover health care expenses that are uncovered. Research before these changes was that people were spending about $250,000 of their retirement on uncovered healthcare expenses. Those numbers are going to be even larger. So let's make sure that we create a lifestyle now that is going to make sure that you're healthy, so that your lifestyle choices prior to retirement, prior to your decisions to stop working, even bad lifestyle choices can lead to you not even being able to have a full career because of a disability that comes about from bad lifestyle choices. So let's make sure we take control over that and realize that making poor choices with our lifestyle and how we live our life and what we do each day. Do we choose to smoke and drink all afternoon when we get home, or do we choose to take walks, eat healthy food, and take care of yourself? Do you choose to bring lunch, or do you choose to buy toxic foods at lunchtime? Everything that we do makes a difference, makes a huge difference in how your finances are in the future. What we do today, our lifestyle choices today, can be a sabotage to you financially. So let's have a good, healthy, sound, substantial, good lifestyle and make good lifestyle choices. And that would include relationships also. I'm guilty of that. My mother told me one day, and it was really humbling, because I had unfortunately, I've been through divorce more than once. So my mother said, when are you going to stop having to start over? That was a lifestyle choice that I was making that was not working out for me. I was going through divorce, and I was giving everything up during the divorce and having to start all over again from ground one. And a lot of times I was bringing a lot in, they were benefiting a lot and taking all of that with them. Because what? You're trying to create peace, you've got a business to run, you've got to move forward. So you know that you got to get your mind clear, you got to get things right. So you end up sacrificing a lot, but that was a lifestyle choice, a bad lifestyle choice that I made. Now, I have learned from that and listening, and I mean, that was some sound. My mother didn't really understand. She was giving me financial advice, and you don't really want to hear it, but you have to be careful, because lifestyle choices, going through divorce, developing relationships with people who are not headed in the same direction with you, who don't believe in your mission and your dream, also can lead to, there can be a financial sabotage. I can't even begin to calculate how much I would have if I hadn't had to give away so much along the way. So lifestyle choices, let's be careful. I'm telling you, I'm committed to being different this next part of my life. So part two. And then let's look at the second one, not understanding taxation. Very important. There are some people I've talked to, and they'll talk about how they didn't understand, let's say in a divorce situation, that they didn't understand that when they split retirement accounts, that meant that they were going to be taxed completely on that. So you need to make sure that we have a good understanding of taxation and touching retirement accounts prior to 59 and a half, and what those tax penalties mean. No matter how good it feels, we have to be careful with that. Typically, women especially tend to not take their retirement accounts as seriously, thinking that they will be able to depend on their spouses. But there's more and more people, men and women, who we're out here by yourself, and you have to develop that retirement account for yourself. So when you're going through job changes, don't look at it as an opportunity to spend that money. Don't look at it as an opportunity to, I can get rid of all my debts now, and you're not 59 and a half and you're not in retirement age. Even if you're in retirement age, getting a good understanding of taxation of all things is very important before you make moves. And they say, did you read this tax form? Do you understand the tax laws? And don't just say yes, make sure you do, or talk to a professional. That's what I'm here for. I hope that you will say, let me talk to JB Bryan about the taxes involved in this particular movement. Different investments have different taxation on the earnings and gains that you have, and understanding when you sell, when you buy, and understanding the taxation involved in everything is very important. Understanding the tax benefits of things. I was talking to a client yesterday about the importance of maximizing their plan at work before they started doing after tax programs, but to reduce their taxable income as much as possible. So not understanding tax laws can really sabotage you in your retirement, in your financial planning. You just can sabotage your financial life. Number three would be taking care of adult children. I hear that a lot. I do. So if you have a child and you're trying to save for your future, or you're trying to live off your retirement income, and you find yourself taking out money, of taking out money that's taxable in extreme forms to take care of two households. You got to be careful with that. You really have to realize that you're sabotaging your financial future. You're sabotaging your financial independence. I had a client, she ended up having to move out of her home because of a school loan that she signed for her grandchild. Very bad problem, but she was being sued. It had to be paid. So, and the grandchild did not want to pay it. So be very careful that what you're doing for adult children, because she signed that for her adult child who couldn't get approved for the loan because they had bad credit. So, hey, think about it. Maybe they need to go to a different school. So, and that's one of the topics we're going to talk about. One of the sabotages to your financial life, one of the enemies that we have to conquer in our financial life is not taking care of adult children, and then also being careful with school loans. That's going to come up at number 6. And number 4 is that you actually can be a enemy. Your enemy within could be your lack of interest in developing your skills in your career. It's very important that you continue to enhance your skills, that if you have your own business, make sure you continue to get proper training, continuing education, continuing your knowledge, learning more and more and more about what you do, becoming better at what you do, advancing in your job, asking for an advance. Don't just get in there and accept it, because you're devastating your income over the long run. I met this one man, and he said he did not want to be, the only way that he could progress and increase his income was to become the supervisor. And he said he did not want to be a supervisor. So that means you need to be filling out your resume and going to get another job, because you've already know they've told you what you can do to move forward, and you don't want to do it, and you're complaining about money. That's a simple one. So not developing your skills and not making a commitment to become better at what you do, can sabotage, can be an enemy within your financial life. We want to get rid of it. Don't be emotional. Being too emotional about your financial decisions can really mess you up. And that we've found, like, with all of these things that we're talking about, can be there's emotional ties to them. Taking care of the adult children, that's an emotional tie. You feel like you should. Why do you feel like you should? You've done what you've done. The Bible says, bring them up in the way that they should go. It doesn't say you got to take care of them forever. So then emotionally choosing bad lifestyle choices, choosing bad life partners that are pulling you away from your goal, or not being emotionally too attached to, when you know that this is draining you financially, emotionally, spiritually, financially, everything. And you know that the relationship is bad for you, but you're too emotionally attached, and you cannot change. But you cannot. Being too emotional can actually pull away. It can be you can be sabotaging. It can be your enemy. You not having control over your emotions. And it's very easy for us to accept that we should become angry because everything is because we're Black. And there are a lot of things, in a lot of ways, that we are being discriminated against because we are Black. And unfortunately, most of the people that do it don't even realize what they're doing. They don't understand that they have one standard for one person and another standard for you. So if you said that's racial, you did that because I'm Black. They don't even understand it. So let's not even become emotionally attached to what they should be doing. We have to make a commitment to, we're going to do this for ourselves, that we're going to become financially independent for ourselves. If that particular workplace that I have chooses to discriminate, and that person decides to rob themselves of your talent, make sure you dismiss yourself and go on and move forward. Don't become emotionally attached to, I got to prove this to them and they got to so and so. No, let's let it go and let's move on. You have to learn how to make that choice. What fight is worth your effort? And you deserve to be out there fighting for yourself and your family and moving forward. Move on. And so also number 6, that when we're talking about things that financial enemies that can be within us. And school loans have been created by us sabotaging ourselves with feeling like this is the only school that I can go to, or this is the only school because this is the school that my child wants to go to. My personal situation went through that. I wanted to go to Howard University more than anything in the world. Had to go, wanted to go, was accepted, did the early application, everything. 2 weeks or what, I don't know, that might be extreme, but say like a month before I graduated from high school, Howard said that we don't, of course, yeah, we accepted you months ago, but we don't have a dorm for you. And I went to my school counselor and I said, I have to go to college. And they said they don't have a dorm for me. And my father works at the local college. And so he said, no, I want you to, go and go and go. Don't be under my umbrella, go. So we applied to University of Virginia. And fortunately, they allowed me to come in for a personal interview. And then the interview, they looked at my scores, they looked at this, and they found a place for me. And it was within the criteria. I had school loans. I had them, paid them off within a couple of years by myself right after I graduated, because I had to change. What I saw was where I had to go, and I had to change and learn to budget at an early age, that this is what I can afford. I worked schools. I worked at 2 or 3 jobs while I was in school. By my senior year, I had 3 jobs. I did a double major and a minor. So we can do this, but you have to teach your children, teach yourself that school loans can be financially devastating. If I had chosen to to go into extreme amounts of debt, my family had done that. My father, right on, and within his smart habit, he would have handed me that, and it would have taken me even longer to get out of debt. So it ended up that even though it hurt me then and I wanted my way, it taught me the discipline, and that I was going to have to make some choices in life that I wasn't always going to get exactly what I want when I want it. And so, hey, God controls all things, but it worked out, and he said he wasn't going to do it. So there's a lot of you who don't know how to say no to your children, and you really need to learn how to say no to them and help them learn how to be more resourceful for themselves. I don't think I would have started my own business. I definitely would not have chosen this industry, because I had to change my major when I went there, and I ended up, becoming a double major in accounting and finance, because I wanted to do a particular major at Howard, but didn't want to do that at UVA, and it ended up being, really good for me. This is exactly what God has chosen for me to do. So it all works out, thank God. So then that was number 6. Number 7, on things that we want to avoid, and things that can sabotage us financially, is not diversifying and not understanding asset allocation and not understanding your risk tolerance. They're all number 7. This will become under my investment umbrella. I am an investment advisor, and it is so true, especially when it comes down to risk tolerance. If you're not invested properly according to your risk tolerance, then you become emotional and you start selling things because you are not in the right category in which you should have been. So a big talk of my discussion, or a big part of my discussion with my clients, is to know how they are emotionally about investing, how they feel about investments, how they're going to tolerate the ups and downs of certain investments that are certain to, historically, they've always been volatile. So why should I think that they wouldn't be going forward? And making sure that they understand that you want this, but you have to realize that this could lead to this. So I love some of on my website, you'll see, if you go to the click through to the corporate website, and it has a risk calculator. I need to put that on the AfroEconomics.com website also. But on the corporate website, it has risk calculator, and you can actually say, invest this amount of money and how much it will go down, up or down, in order to get this particular return that you're seeking. Of course, the higher return that you're seeking means we have to have the portfolio exposed to more growth investments, which would mean in equities, stocks, and so that we would have to, you would have this, would be faced if we look at historical performance, there's a certain amount of risk and volatility that would be associated with that particular goal if you were looking for this particular return. But you have to do it to really understand. But I think you get me. And so we want to make sure that we diversify also, that even if you have all of your money invested in your work plan, and how do you have it invested? I've seen some clients that have never talked to any financial professional over their entire career, and then I meet them at the end of their career. My clients that have been most successful are the ones that talk to me like 5 years before they're retiring. So as we're approaching retirement age now, imagine if they had met me 20 years before and we did an asset allocation, a risk assessment, and things like that. So don't sabotage yourself by not having your investments set up correctly according to your specific risk tolerance. And then number 8 is trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to develop a lifestyle that exposes you to an extreme amount of debt. Making sure that you live within your means is a way to kill that enemy that wants you to actually live beyond your means. That just when you're going out, say you're going to look for a home, and you're going out looking for a home, and the home that you're seeking, they say, wow, the two of you can actually afford this house. And you're like, woo, look at that, blah, 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 blah. I think that what you should do is first say, we want to make sure that we purchase something based on blah, blah, blah amount of our income. So you can decide, like, even if you just base it on the income, get approved based on the income of one of you. So that if something happens in the household and one of you lose your job, then you can still take care of these bills. But too often we go into debt based on the best case scenario. But what if we just say that we live below our means, and that we know that we could buy more, but this is the kind of debt that we want, this is the kind of payment that we want, this is what we would like to commit to that. So we want to make sure that we don't fall victim of trying to keep up with the Joneses. We're going to kill that desire. We're going to kill that enemy. Everybody probably is either there, been there, or almost heading there. I've been there, and I ain't trying to go back there. I don't want to keep up with anybody, and I don't like anybody to tell me what I'm supposed to get. That's what I say. You should have da 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 because you da 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 da. No. You should have exactly what you want to have, and realizing that if you choose to live up to your maximum or beyond your means, which means you have a credit card balance and others, when you have all these things financed, you have to realize you gotta work to a certain level to make sure that that commitment is met. There's a certain feeling that you have within yourself when you say, I paid that off. I paid it. I never, the biggest confidence boost I ever got was when I started just paying things or just buying things. Oh, it feels good. Believe me, that's where you want to be. So then number 9 is many people don't have any plans on becoming financially independent or ever retiring. They just work, spend it all, work, spend it all, work, spend it all. Like, even if you do want to work forever, like me, I have no plan on retiring. I don't want to stop. That's what I love about AfroEconomics. I can be committed to you until my last breath. I want to do it. I love it. I am having fun right now. This is fun. This is my work. This is what I do. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. So that's cool. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to have the ability to take a whole month or 2 off, and not have to worry about always producing. That's what you want to be, financially independent at some point in your life. The earlier, the better. So that means that we need to be shooting for saving at least 20% of our income. That would be great. Minimum 10. At minimum 10. I mean, so many people, and they go, oh, well, yeah, the employer set it up for 4%, so I left it there, so why? That's just what they did. That has nothing to do with your goal to be financially independent. You got to take control. And I was at my dentist the other day, and my hygienist was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you came in because this is my chance to talk to you." Look, getting that free advice. And I said, "Oh no, just because they did 4, that has nothing to do with you. You need to be saving a lot more, a lot more. But at least 10% of what you're bringing in should be saving for a time where because you want to accumulate that savings so that you can invest it, and you want to invest it in things that are going to create income for you versus your labor. You want to invest it in things like purchasing these things, taking the time to write these things. That only took me one investment, but it was an investment of time and money to produce these things. But they will continue to pay off even when I'm gone, God willing. And I have another, the Legacy Edition, coming out in July. So you want to use your savings, your money, your income to create things that are going to create income for you for years to come, without you having to always work, have to labor. You want to buy things, you want to buy equities, you want to buy properties, you want to buy make books, come out with CDs, whatever your talent is, use it so that it can create income for you. And when you only had to do the work one time. Indeed. And then finally, having a savings. Remember last week, you should check out my video on save that money. But not having a savings, not having an emergency fund of at least 3. If you're self-employed, you want to have at least 6 months. Sometimes, if you're you're really worried about your job, you're a contractor or something, you don't really know where it's going, save as much as you can. Having a year of income would be great. How long did it take you last time in between contracts? Make sure you have at least that many months of income available for you. Don't pray that they give you some sort of severance package and that you can make it somehow off unemployment. Let's learn from the pain. Let's learn from the pain. Like I've told you about pain in my life, that I've used those experiences to learn this is what I want to do different going forward. These are the different choices that we want to make. We want to kill that part of us that wants us to think that it'll just work out so we don't need to save for an emergency. No, it will work out, but you need to make sure that we learn that we're going to make sure we're prepared next time. Yes, it does work out, but yay, why stress? Why put yourself through all that pain again? So make sure that you have a proper savings. So when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside of us can do us no harm. That's my favorite African proverb. And I hope that you really get it, that you'll go and check out the app. Who's watching me on the app? AfroEconomics is a free app that you can put on your smartphone. I'm really fascinated with that. That people are telling me, like Donnell Tice, that he is a truck driver, and he said, I can watch you right on my phone, sitting up there, boom. And he is a good follower and a member of AfroEconomics. And I want you to do the same. If you're just wherever you're sitting, if you're sitting in your truck, you're sitting in your car, you're sitting at your desk, your office, that check out the AfroEconomics app and make sure that you stay financially empowered. This weekend, we're going to use the new wheel. This is the AfroEconomics Wheel of Fortune, right? And everybody that's participating in the workshop, they're going to be able to spin the wheel. And like this one, it landed on a free ebook. So make sure that you come out and take advantage of free tuition for workshop, a free actual book, and a free workbook. Everybody's going to win something in the free. We got the t-shirts and everything. So check out AfroEconomics.com to register for Saturday, June 11th. And then also 1-844 JB Bryan. Some people don't like the whole computer thing. Just give me a call and let's make sure that we stay financially empowered. And everybody is privy to a complimentary financial consultation. So I'd love to talk to you. Don't hesitate to be in touch. AfroEconomics is a strategic financial management program designed for the advancement of Black wealth in America and abroad. Have a wonderfully blessed day. I look forward to talking with you again tomorrow or next Wednesday. Definitely. Bye-bye.